Thank you very much, Minister Lipavsky, for giving us this time today. So I wanted to start with what Ukrainian Foreign Minister Kuleba said today. He said that there is a serious lack of deliveries of promised weapons, of promised defense systems from Europe, and this includes ammunition. So what can you tell us about the Czech plan, which was so promising? And I understand there haven't been any deliveries since June. Where does the program stand right now?
Not like that. Czech ammunition initiative, it's fulfilling its promise, and till the end of the year we will deliver 500,000 ammunition large caliber shells, and both summer months, July and August, the deliveries were around 100,000 pieces. So everything is working in order, and definitely on this part of activity we can surely say that what was agreed, what was financed, what was signed as an agreement with the companies delivering those shells, everything will be delivered.
So there hasn't been any hang up with some of the countries that you hoped to purchase from. Everything has worked out the way that you envisioned it several months ago.
The Czech ammunition initiative started with a call for international effort on Munich Security Conference. It was President Pavel. A few weeks ago, it was before the Munich Security Conference, it was Prime Minister Fiala making a similar statement. Then we were able to get up to 15 countries, not only supported by mouth, but also deliver money to sign the specific deals. We are very much focused on the transparency of the whole thing, so that we are protecting the money of taxpayers from those countries, and also we are focused on delivery. So Czechia is proud to play this role, and I would like to assure everyone that we will the what needs to be delivered will be delivered. What was agreed.
With the assaults that we've seen Russia making on Ukraine just in the last days, what can you say about Europe's ability to provide the air defense system that Ukraine needs and that have been promised, the upgrades in this?
I think this is something where more effort needs to be put in. I think generally whole Europe has a weak defense, and therefore it's much difficult to find the spare systems to be provided for Ukraine. On the other side, we can clearly see that one of the most important battlefields is in the air. It's the air defense protecting Ukraine from the barbarous attacks from Russia, not only taking place on the front line, but also attacking civilians, attacking hotels, child hospital on purpose,
kindergartens,
and complete destruction of Ukraine energy infrastructure, which will be very difficult for Ukraine to overcome upcoming winter, and we have to also help Ukraine to prepare for that. So, but we would not need to help Ukraine prepare for harsh winter if the energy infrastructure would not be destroyed, if Ukraine would have enough anti-air systems. So Czechia cannot play a specific role in the anti-air systems since we do not have any Super B capacity in that, but definitely we are supporting the international efforts. We are supporting different kind of programs for finding financing for these measures, and definitely it has to be part of the broader strategic effort to help Ukraine to defend themselves from Ukraine attack, from Russian attack.
And what about also getting restrictions removed by some major countries, some European countries, of course, most notably the United States? What is the Czech position on this, that there should not be restrictions on Ukraine's ability to strike inside Russia?
Deliveries which goes from Czechia to Ukraine are not subjected to any kind of restrictions. There is one simple reason. We recognize the right of Ukraine to fully defend itself from the act of aggression from Russian side, from Russia, and this kind of defense can also logically take place on the territory of aggressor, in this case of Russia. On the other side, I have to be open in a sense that the Czechia is not delivering any kind of systems which would be very complicated, sophisticated, and we are not part of this dilemma how to approach to the most sophisticated systems. But
is it disappointing to you to see other countries doing this?
But we are of course calling on the other countries to understand that the best attack is the one which is stopped immediately before it happens. So in a case of cruise missiles and those flying bomb FABs, it's better if the plane is not in the air at all, rather than to stop it in the air, which is the case of the most anti-air systems typically on the territory of Ukraine. So I agree that if Ukraine is trying to stop those attacks, it should be able to do before it begins. But again, we are not part of this strategic dilemma. I would wish that the Germany delivers Tauruses, for example, to Ukraine. I would wish that Americans, which are already providing ATACMS to Ukraine, would agree to usage in a broad fashion. But it's hard for me to criticize or to advise to those countries if I'm not part of this club and not having this dilemma. So let's be fair on that. But
given all these aggressive acts, obviously the full-scale war, this is why you are pushing for this proposal that we're also talking about today, to stop allowing Russian diplomats the Schengen privileges, that they can travel anywhere they want inside the Schengen zone as if they were basically EU visa holders of any other status. So tell me more about this, and what has been the resistance? You've been working on it for 9 months and it hasn't yet formally come to the table.
Soon it will be almost 3 years into the full-scale Russian invasion into Ukraine. There is up to 3,000 Russian diplomats across the whole Europe. I don't know what is the exact number for Schengen area, but it will be quite similar. And those people can freely travel across the whole EU because they have, as you said, Schengen privileges. By the international treaties, by the international obligations, by the Vienna Convention on diplomatic relations, there is no obligation for any European country to provide the Schengen privilege to those Russian diplomats. Russia is not offering to us anything similar to that kind. This is one country, so we are providing them with the benefit, and of course we know that the Russian diplomatic mission serves to the hybrid warfare which is being waged against Europe. So
do you know that? Do you have proof that these diplomats are in fact part of these sabotages?
We have so many cases of Russian sabotages and specific knowledge. I think the secret services are quite clear in that when providing reports with us.
But a lot of this is being done online recruiting, dark web kind of services. What could you do by stopping them from traveling?
This is of course not the part of the thing which would be solved, but the physical thing would be definitely limited. And
would it be more symbolic though?
It's not symbolic measure. I think if you have almost 3,000 people traveling freely across Europe, it is something which provides a security risk for Europe. And there is quite a big group of states calling for that measure to being introduced, but we still have not achieved unity on that measure in Europe. So I am continuing lobbying my colleagues, my ministers. We are working on different diplomatic channels to explain the importance of such a measure.
And what kind of retaliation are they afraid of? Since, as you mentioned, a visa to Russia by a diplomat does not limit them from traveling anywhere else.
I'm trying to achieve a parity in relations between the EU countries and Russia. So if I'm trying to achieve a parity, there should not be any kind of symmetrical retaliatory measure. So maybe Russia decides that they want to escalate the relations with Europe, but I would not advise them to do so.
You have already taken one measure, and that is phasing out and not allowing non-biometric passports, because these are what are often used by some of these malign actors because they're so easily forged. How is that working? Do you think that this is already a safety measure that other countries should be taking?
This is a measure which was taken in the Czech national capacity. So basically we have stopped accepting passports which do not have a biometrical things in the passports. They are so-called the non-biometrical passport. Now all the EU passport has the biometric in it, so you have this fingerprint and some more information. You can see it in your own passport, and basically it's impossible to falsify such a document. Russia, of course, they can produce a biometrical passport. They do so, but for example, those GRU agents who committed the heinous crime of blowing up ammunition store in Czechia in 2014. It was discovered later in 2021. Those same people used Novichok in Salisbury, those same commando, but under different kind of identities, because they were able to falsify their passports. Those were non-biometrical passports. So we have introduced this measure. Even though it is a Schengen measure, it's in a Czech national capacity, and now we are explaining to other states how to introduce such a measure in a way that citizens who do not have a biometrical passport have enough time to exchange their IDs. Yes, of course, with the Russian Federation, because they are Russian Federation citizens, and we are not first in Europe. Actually, 2 years ago it was Denmark which introduced also this measure. So this is another small piece in a big effort to make Czechia more more safer place.
And finally, Minister, Mr. Borrell's term is coming to an end. You have Kaja Kallas coming in. She's a very different person about exactly these kind of issues. Do you expect these proposals that you have to take on new energy? Do you have new hope that with Kaja Kallas as the EU foreign policy chief, that they will get more attention?
So first of all, I would like to thank Joseph for all his effort and work he put it into leading FAC. I think he did a tremendous job. On Kaja Kallas, we are not that there. There need to be a successful hearing in the European Parliament and vote. So I wish her good luck with that, and we don't know what will be the full composition of European Commission. So Czechia has one candidate, Josef Síkela. Also, he needs to be approved by Ursula and then by European Parliament. We don't know what the portfolio he will be managing. So those are things which are ahead of us. This is where I focus. I wish Kaja Kallas that she will successfully pass all those tests, and that she would become the new Vice President of European Commission and the President of Council of Ministers.
And Estonia already signed your letter on the Schengen zone limitations, so that would be a promising sign for you.
It was under her prime ministership at the time. I have always very good relationship with Estonian ministers of foreign affairs. So and we are very like-minded in this regard. So I was happy to have them on board. So let's see. Of course, every president of council is different. So I wish Kaja Kallas that she will be successful with her endeavors to become the president of FAC.
Thank you very much, Minister Lipavsky.
Thank you very much.